Good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. First of all, thank you so much for
Sure.
being here with us. This
Glad to
is
have.
really super cool, and I'm really excited to have you a part of the team
Thank
for the
you.
Bright Stars Green
Great to be
Room.
part of it.
And my first thing is, well, just introduce yourself to our audience and tell us why you got into photography in the first place.
Well, my name is Shawn Ray, and I am a photographer. I was an actor first, became a photographer. I stumbled into photography. To be honest with you, I never planned on being a photographer. My wife basically wanted photos, and I didn't, we had spent $1,000 on photos that weren't very good. Didn't want to spend another $1,000. Thought, well, let's just buy a camera and I'll teach myself. I did that. I bought the camera, shot the photos, and they actually turned out pretty good. So we took them to an agency, and the agency said, who shot these? And I'm like, oh, just somebody I know. I was afraid to tell them I shot them. And she goes, oh, he's great. I want to use him. I'm like, well, he lives in LA or whatever. I want to use him when he comes in town. And I'm like, okay, finally. I told her, Diana, I shot the photos. And she's like, wait a minute. You know how many photographers I've made in this town? And I was like, I don't want to be a photographer. But she started sending me people. So I just had to learn on the fly. I didn't charge anybody in the beginning. And then as I started to learn and produce good headshots, I was, okay, maybe I'll charge for film and developing. Okay, maybe I'll charge, and that's how I got started in photography. And 23 years later, I do it for a living now. So.
Wow, that's a really awesome story. And what do you love most about being a professional photographer?
Probably the interaction with people. I get to see them in such an intimate scenario. You know how they say the camera sees into the soul? It's very true. It's a lot of times in life we put on masks and we're always kind of in a performance mode. The camera doesn't allow to do that. So I like to get to know the people before we shoot to relax them. It's just such an intimate thing. I have grown men that will show up with their lips quivering, and I get to try to just get to know them a little bit. And it's kind of neat to see them transform in front of the lens, and you get to really see their essence come out.
Yeah.
That not many other people will get to see. So it's the personal relationships you form sometimes in just an hour and a half, and then that ends up extending to 20 years. I have people that I've been shooting for 20 years now.
Oh my god.
So it's just really cool, and like I said, it's just very intimate. It's vulnerable. I love it.
And you talk about essence. Can you go into a little bit more depth about what that means and why it's important?
God, it's different for everybody. It really is, but I think it's your inner energy, that comes through, and some people show up and they've suppressed that for so long that, they can be kind of dead behind the eyes. So it's my job to try to pull that out of them, that essence, and the more we talk, the more we work together, it starts to come out. When you finally see it come out through the eyes, it's like angels singing. It's like, oh, it's a really, but listen, it's acting in front of a camera. I mean, it's the same thing. You got to give something. It takes two people. I say it on a daily basis. It takes two people to make a good photo. You have to bring something to the table, and I have to do my technical stuff. So it's pretty cool.
That is awesome. And what led you to become a headshot photographer?
I still do lifestyle, but I think it just clicks. It clicks with me. It's like I said, it's so intimate. Mm-hmm. We're right here, Lifestyle's fun and it's laughing, but I think it's the intimacy of it. I really do. It's just, I get to see, it's a challenge for me on every photo shoot. It's my goal to get that catch light in your eye, so when you zoom in and widen it out, you see me in their eye. That's the kind of part of the intimacy that I love, is that, we're in your soul, we're in your eyes, so it's just, I think that's what it is. It's just, it's intimate, and I love that.
Right, and I seen that when working with you, when you were taking my headshots. I saw the intense look that you were just trying to find that right moment, and it's true. You really do look deep into the eyes and the soul, basically. It's really amazing.
I love it. I don't know. It just tells a story. It really does. Are they nervous? Are they excited? Some people just blossom in front of the camera, but in real life, they're shy. You get to see so many cool things, and I have to tell people on photo shoots all the time, if I'm staring at you, I'm looking at light. I don't want to say, hey, I'm staring into your soul. Hope you don't mind. You know what I mean? But there's no judgments there. Just, I know, as cliche as it sounds, the eyes are the window to the soul. And if you pay attention, you'll see it. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you think that your acting background also helps you in the sense of,
100%. 100%. And I think that's why one of the reasons why I gravitated towards headshots. I think we spoke previously about acting classes, and some of the best friends that I ever met was in acting class, and 30 years later we're still friends. It's because it's an intimate situation. It just kind of naturally goes into headshots. It's just that intimacy with people.
You're so right. And you talk about the growth of, starting out for free headshots and, then you started to charge. But for actors, why is it so important to invest in a professional headshot versus, I need to save money. I don't want
Because they're not part of the trial and error process. With the trial and error, sometimes I failed. Most of the time I failed as a photographer. So you being the person expecting good photos, you're part of that trial and error process. You're either getting good shots or you're not. So the reason why you would pay a professional, you're guaranteed to get good shots. You're not tossing it to the wind. I hope this guy gets me good photos. There's a proven track record there. This guy is doing shots for 20, and it doesn't have to be me, but find somebody that knows what they're doing, because that's going to take that out of your mind. You're not even going to have to think about, am I getting good shots? This guy's track record proves it. So now it allows you to just be. Awesome. Does that make sense? It's not something you have to process.
It makes wonderful sense, but why would an actor want to do that? What is the advantage of having a professional headshot?
Well, like any other business, you have a calling card. You have a business card, so to speak. You write your phone number and your business on a piece of paper and hand it over. Guess what? You just don't look professional. You put a little thought into your business card. When people, that's a great business card, they're going to remember your name. Casting directors, if they see your picture come across and it's not professional, they are not going to probably give you a second look. That is your first foot in the door, is your shots. Put your best foot forward. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's so true.
Cheesy is great.
We love cheesy. We're actors, right?
Yes, actors. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And it's solid advice. And we, as actors, we love to save money because we have to invest all this time, energy, and money into classes and, just all the things. And it's hard. It is hard to cough up that money, but it is so worth it if you truly want to, put your foot in the door in a professional manner.
Yeah, and listen, actors are notoriously doing jobs that allows them to audition. So it has to be flexible. Chances are you're a server at a restaurant. You're working somewhere that maybe doesn't pay a ton of money. So, your money doesn't go that far. Right. So you need to be really wise at what you spend it on, whether it be acting classes or headshots. Those are the two most important things that you can spend your money on. If you're not willing to save your money and not, I know it sounds stupid, but if you're drinking $6 a day coffees and saying you can't afford, a couple $100s for headshots, then your priorities might be a little bit mixed up. And I know that sounds judgmental, but you got to find a way. People starting businesses every day make a sacrifice, make an investment. And that's exactly how you have to look at headshots, an investment. And yeah.
Listen, please listen. That is solid advice. And I just thank you for saying that and sharing, because so many actors don't see that, and they
Absolutely.
Don't see the value when it is very important. A headshot can make or break you in an instant. You either get the audition or you don't, based on a photo.
Absolutely.
So please invest in yourself. You're worth it, okay?
And I will say this. Can I just say one more thing about that?
Absolutely.
Generally, almost 100% of the time, if I see somebody cutting corners on what they're investing on their headshots, they're generally going to cut corners on their career.
Oh, that's...
It's your first... That's your first indicator of what you're going to treat your career like. If you're not willing to make the sacrifice and the investment, and you're cutting corners, that will carry over into your auditioning, into your career. Next thing you know, you're auditioning with mom's pictures in the background. You're not taking it seriously enough. And that is your first indicator. I can usually tell right off the bat if this person's going to take their career seriously or not.
Yeah.
By just, are they willing to make the sacrifice and the investment?
That's awesome. That's a great
It's a
tip.
mindset that you have to start off with.
Mindset. Keyword there. Listen to that. Okay, now, can you share with us just 2 important tips when you're getting ready for your headshot? Like 2 things.
There's a lot. You want to definitely communicate with the photographer. The photographer should, I'm a big communicator. If your photographer's not communicating, don't be afraid to ask questions. Because once you show up, it's too late. You're not going back home to get your wardrobe. So some of the most important things are, do you want hair and makeup? I don't always recommend makeup because you want to be able to duplicate what they do on your auditions. So if you're stuck with makeup that you don't know how to duplicate or hair that you don't know how to duplicate, then your headshots are really doing you a big disservice because you're not going to look like it when you show up or when you do an audition. So hair the way you normally wear it. Now, if you're doing something upscale, like on your business photo and you want to do some curls, that's fine. As long as you know how to duplicate it. It has to be duplicatable. Is that right? That's one thing. Hair and makeup the way you normally wear it. I'm one of the only photographers that will literally say, if you can do your own makeup, do it. I can fix it in post and still make you look natural. So make sure that it's duplicatable. You're not getting too much Photoshop. You want to look like yourself one shade better. Okay? Oh. You want to show up and look like your headshots. 1. 2, wardrobe. Pay attention to wardrobe. What you might wear out to the club or to church or whatever may not be suitable for photography. So you don't want busy patterns. Sometimes we do shoot flannel shirts if it calls for it and stuff like that, but make sure you're communicating or that photographer is sending you some kind of wardrobe suggestions. If it says no white, don't bring white, or bring white underneath something because it blows out and it just washes and makes the photos muddy. Make sure you're bringing what the photographer says. If the photographer's not giving you suggestions, ask. Nice. You have to do that. And research. Look at other people's headshots. Go to these websites. If you're looking at me as a photographer or anybody else, go to their website and see the ones that you really like and make sure you have that in mind and when you're communicating with the photographer. That was like 8, not 2.
It was solid. It was solid is what it was,
I could give you a ton more, really. But.
Thank you. And I just have one more question for you, and that is, what was the main reason that you decided to come on board with the Bright Stars Green Room Ultimate Acting Business?
Well, you have associated yourself with people that I trust in the industry. The moment I heard those names, I'm like, okay, they're serious. And they want to provide a service that's going to take these actors into the future. It's not about taking their money and then moving on. It's not a numbers game. It's not a revolving door. You really are investing. It seems like you are really investing. You're an actor. You know what you need as an actor to benefit you and take you forward. That's all we're looking for as actors. What are the tools that I need to move forward to make me successful? And it's not... we're in an industry that doesn't have a lot of formulas, but you are actually putting together something that is closest to a formula that I've seen yet. So I'd like to be a part of that.
Thank you so much, Shawn. Yeah. I cannot tell you how much that means. I've already teared
up. No, I'm tearing up too.
I'm sorry.
Want to just cry?
Get emotional. But seriously, to have you a part of this with us and to be there for our attendees, to give them something that they can present to the agents that they want to submit to or the auditions that they submit to, having that calling card is so crucial, and I am so honored that you are our photographer to make that happen.
I also want to say something else about, you're talking about being prepared. If you don't think you need to be prepared in this industry, early on in my career as an actor, I didn't know what I was doing. I just got lucky. An agent signed me. I didn't even have great headshots, but I got in with an old casting director. He was out of Orlando, and he was big, and he was all business, and I showed up, and he told me to do a slate. I had no idea what a slate was, so I was like, my name is Shawn Ray. I'm 5 feet, whatever. I'm brown hair, brown eyes, and he literally looks from the camera like this. Is a live audition. He says, Shawn, the camera can see all of that. And I melted down. That was it. My audition went into the dirt, and that casting director did not see me for 2.5 years. I studied. That's when I'm like, I gotta go study. So I went and I studied at Performance Studio Workshop for 4 years. Well, I was there for 4 years. 2 years into it, this agency talked to him and said he's studied, he's ready. I booked the very next commercial, and he saw me for the next 2 or 3 years till I moved to LA.
Wow.
That is the importance of being prepared. Because when you're not, you may not ever get a chance to go. I was fortunate enough to have somebody lobby for me that he's ready. That casting director was done with me, and he should have been because I wasn't prepared.
Wow.
Sorry, that was a little
No, thank you for
ancillary.
sharing
Yeah.
that. That's something that's very
You got to be
valuable.
prepared.
Yeah.
You got to have the tools in your toolbox. So
I love it.
you guys are doing
Thanks,
that.
Shawn.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Okay, thank you. No, thank you for having me. Seriously, it's an honor.